that there was a gathering, a Hasidic gathering like this one here. And a man stands up, a fellow gets up, and he says to the assembled, I wasn't feeling well. And I visited a doctor. And the doctor gave me a sentence. And it wasn't a sentence for a long life. He was obviously very upset. So this man says, the doctor says, there's nothing you can do for me. I'm asking you all to give me a blessing that I should be well. So they said to this chassid, the Rebbe is in the next room. He says, no, I do not want a blessing from the Rebbe, I want a blessing from the guys. So after they argued for a while, he became very upset. He started to cry. And it created a very unusual mood in the room. The Alter Rebbe was sitting in that group, like one of the people. Everybody knew that he wasn't exactly like them, but they treated him like one of the guys. And when this whole thing unfolded and this man began to cry, the Alter Rebbe stood up. And he said to them, very famous, this is very famous in our culture, in Chabad, that I heard from my teacher, in the name of the Holy Baal Shem Tov, that a Hasidic gathering has an enormous power. When people love each other, there's always enough room. And when people can't stand one another, the room is never big enough. You get together people, and people are sitting so close to one another, which means that there's a warmth. It has a power. Why? Because of the closeness, the brotherhood. It's not so much that they're so holy and so special. When people tolerate each other, get along, share with one another, it's very powerful. And he gave an example. If you have a need, and you come to your father and you ask him for what your need is. A child comes to his father and he wants something, so the father says, why do you need it? Why do you deserve it? And what are you going to do with it? What if you're going to waste it? And the kid says, you know, I regret I've been asking you. You're terrible, you're miserable. Every time I ask you something, you make me feel so guilty. But if a kid has a need, and all of his brothers and sisters come to the old man and say, Papa, so-and-so wants something. Don't examine it so carefully. Just give him what he wants. So when the father sees the love between the siblings, it neutralizes his tendency towards criticism and exactitude and precision and calculation, and he gives whatever you want. So the Alter Rebbe said, you have a Farbrengen, we sit together. The fact that we're sitting together neutralizes the Eibishter's judgment, Kalamadi's judgment, and at a Farbrengen we can bless each other and wish each other all the best. The greatest blessing in the world is that a person likes what he has. The worst curse in the world is for a person not to be at peace with himself. And if you're not at peace with yourself, you can't be at peace with anybody.